Make your mind obey you and achieve everything you want. Before we begin, click on Enjoy and subscribe to the channel, because here you learn what most people never understood: how to make the mind obey your will. Now, pay attention. What you're about to hear today isn't cheap motivation. It's mental science applied to real life, just the way Napoleon Hill, I learned by observing the most successful men in the world. It's funny, isn't it? Most people believe that success is a matter of luck, fate, or opportunity. But what separates those who achieve from those who just wish is something invisible: the mastery of mental focus. I have seen penniless men build empires simply because they knew control your thoughts. And I've seen rich men lose everything because they let their minds run wild. What you think, feel, and hold creates. Always. Maybe you recognize yourself in this. You start out full of energy, making plans, but halfway through you lose your rhythm. This doesn't happen because you lack strength, but because you lack mental direction. Your mind is like a radio. If the frequency is confused, the sound comes out distorted. But when you learn to tune into the right channel, clarity, purpose, and faith, the entire universe begins to respond. Today, I'm going to show you how to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions in a way so simple you'll wonder why no one taught you before. You'll understand why life does not obey your wishes, but to their dominant thoughts. And when this becomes clear, you will discover the true power of creating your own reality. So get ready. In the next few minutes, you won't just hear words. You'll learn how to shape the energy that creates worlds. And when you finish this video, you'll realize that everything you've ever sought is now available, just waiting for you to take control of your own mind. The law of focus. The mirror of life. Napoleon Hill used to say that life is a mirror that reflects exactly what the mind projects. If you live with scattered thoughts, your world will become a maze of distractions. But if your thoughts are guided by a defined purpose, life organizes itself around it. Focus is the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. And believe me, your cell phone isn't the thief of your time. It's a reflection of your mental imbalance. The first step is to give a clear name for your purpose. Hill taught that an idea without definition is like vapor. It evaporates. Write a simple, specific goal. Increase my income by 30% in the next 90 days, for example. Then ask yourself, what is the first 5-minute step? What can I give today? The mind loves simplicity. Small, repeated actions shape great destinies. Those who wake up thinking about failure reinforce failure. Those who wake up thinking about progress activate their brain to recognize opportunities. Do a check mental matinal. What will I ignore today? What really matters? How will I know I've made progress? 3 questions, 60 seconds. From that point on, your mind stops reacting and starts creating. And it's precisely this silent creation that reveals Hill's next secret: the power of dominant thoughts. Dominant thoughts and the power of the subconscious. Hill believed that the subconscious is a human being's most faithful servant. It never questions, only obeys. Everything you repeat with emotion, it transforms into habit, and later into reality. If you insist on phrases like, "I never have any luck," the subconscious understands this as a command. And like a model employee, it does everything possible to prove you right. That's why Hill compared the mind to a garden. Thoughts are seeds, and the subconscious is the fertile soil. Sow fear, reap fear. Sow purpose, reap progress. He said that all success begins when an idea dominates the mind so strongly that no doubt can uproot it. It's the power of faith-filled thought. Not a religious faith, but an unshakable mental conviction. Take the test Hill proposed to his students. Observe your thoughts for a single day. How often do you belittle or doubt yourself? Now replace each self-criticism with a positive, direct, and firm affirmation. I am learning. I am evolving. I am closer to what I seek. In a few weeks, your subconscious changes its tone, and with it, the course of your life. And when your mind begins to obey, it's time to introduce the next step: clarity ritual. The clarity ritual. 5 minutes that change your day. Napoleon Hill used to start his day with silence and blank paper. For him, morning clarity was the fuel of purpose. Before the world began demanding his attention, he wrote, 3 main intentions of the day. Just 3. No endless lists. Then, I'd turn each intention into a small, immediate action, one that could be completed in 5 minutes or less. The key wasn't the size of the action, but the consistency of the habit. This simple ritual retrains the brain to identify what truly matters. When you write, you transform an abstract intention into a physical command. Hill said that the pen is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Within days, mental chaos gives way to direction. You stop being a passenger in your own life and take the wheel. It's what he called silent self-mastery. While most people wake up and dive into social media, those who practice the clarity ritual begin the day aligned with their purpose. It's like tuning an instrument before a concert. The sound changes, the tune changes, the energy changes. 5 minutes of focus are worth more than hours of disorganized effort. And it is in this state of attention that the next power manifests. The emotional visualization of achievement. Detailed visualization. Plus, emotion. How to turn thought into reality. Napoleon Hill stated that every great achievement is born twice. First in the mind, then in the world. The difference between those who imagine and those who achieve lies in emotion placed in the mental image. Visualizing without feeling is like projecting a movie without sound. He said, you need to see, hear, and feel success as if it already exists. The brain doesn't distinguish between the real and the intensely imagined, and the subconscious works to align the external world with that internal image. To apply this, Hill taught a simple practice. Before going to sleep or right after waking up, close your eyes and see yourself living the desired result. If prosperity is your goal, imagine it in detail. The environment, the conversations, the feeling of relief and gratitude. Feel yourself there, now. The clearer and more emotionally charged this scene is, the more your subconscious recognizes it as a command. It's like imprinting a blueprint on the ground in your mind before erecting the edifice of reality. Hill compared this technique to the way architects visualize completed buildings before the first brick is laid. The same is true of athletes who see victory before the race. He said, emotion is the cement that solidifies the mental image. Visualizing isn't daydreaming. It's training the brain to believe in what doesn't yet exist, until the universe has no choice but to manifest it. And it's when this belief becomes unbreakable that the next level emerges. Understanding that attention is creative energy. Attention, creative energy. Napoleon Hill taught that attention is the purest form of creative energy. Everything that receives attention grows, and everything that is neglected withers. He used to say, a man becomes what he thinks about all day. Attention is like sunlight, harmless when scattered, but capable of generating fire when focused. Therefore, the difference between failure and achievement lies in how you distribute your mental energy throughout the day. Hill liked to compare attention to a magnifying glass. When you focus on a problem, the problem expands. When you focus on a solution, it appears where before there seemed only chaos. He said, life is an energetic bank account, and you use up your mental credits every time you worry about what you can't control. Directing your attention is like learning to invest. It's not about how much you have, but where it applies. For Hill, attention and purpose are inseparable. He suggested a simple practice. Every time you notice your mind wandering to useless worries, stop and mentally say, this is not where my energy should be. Then return your focus to a concrete action, however small. This simple gesture is a training in self-mastery. When attention becomes disciplined, the universe begins to respond like a faithful mirror. And it is at this stage that Hill introduced the next concept, daily triad of essential priorities. The daily triad. The three priorities that define progress. Napoleon Hill said that clarity is the map of the disciplined mind. He observed that people fail not because of a lack of talent, but because of distraction. Those who try to do everything achieve nothing, he repeated. That's why he created a simple method. Choose 3 daily priorities, the 3 actions that truly move the needle of life forward. These tasks are like stepping stones, small but essential steps to climbing mountains. For Hill, the secret was in fulfill them before distractions arrive. He recommended reserving the first hour of the day for those things that require the most focus: studying, writing, creating, and important decisions. Avoid checking emails, social media, or the news. He called this the golden hour, and he asserted that whoever conquers the first few hours of the morning conquers the entire day. When all 3 priorities are met, the brain understands it's in control, and self-control is strengthened. Hill applied the triad even in his own studies. He recounted that, when writing Think and Grow Rich, he kept only 3 active goals: research, writing, and revising. Nothing more. Every time I got distracted, the book stopped flowing, he said. He believed that this practice creates a silent progress effect, where small daily victories build big results. And it is in understanding this that the next step arises: protecting the focus from external influences, the mental ecosystem that shapes everything you are. The focus ecosystem: environment, voices, and influences. Napoleon Hill used to say that the human mind is like a sponge. It absorbs everything around it, the good and the bad. He said that no man is truly free until he learns to select the mental environment in which you live. Focus isn't isolated. It's shaped by voices, habits, and atmospheres. It's impossible to maintain grandiose thoughts while dwelling on small talk. The energy of the environment permeates the subconscious like perfume, and you begin to smell what you breathe. Hill observed that successful people create environments that fuel your ideas. It's no coincidence that he kept his desk clean, read only mind-expanding authors, and avoided unproductive discussions. The mind needs silence to hear its own wisdom, he said. He recommended auditing your surroundings. What you hear, read, and watch daily shapes your mindset, and consequently, your destiny. The subconscious is an obedient student. It repeats the lessons you allow it to hear. To apply this, Hill taught 3 simple practices. 1. Strategic silence. Set aside at least 30 minutes a day to not consume anything external. No screens, no news, just presence. 2. Voice selection. Listen to people who inspire you and avoid those who just complain. 3. Aligned physical environment. Organize your workspace as if you were already the successful version of yourself. When the ecosystem harmonizes, the focus strengthens. And when the focus strengthens, the next inevitable stage emerges: the elimination of excess and the positive obsession with what really matters. Elimination and positive obsession. The scalpel of progress. Napoleon Hill said that the elimination is the beginning of true mastery. While most seek to add more tasks, more goals, more noise, the wise learn to subtract. Every distraction is a form of disguised self-sabotage, he asserted. He compared focus to a blade. The sharper, the more precise. To achieve this, it takes courage to cut out what doesn't contribute: people, habits, content, and even thoughts that drain energy. Hill called this state positive obsession, an unwavering dedication to purpose, without guilt, without distraction. It's not about rigidity, but about intelligent discipline. He said that success isn't a marathon, but a delicate surgery. You remove the superfluous so that the essential flourishes. And he warned, every time you say yes to what doesn't matter, you're saying no to your defined purpose. Progress requires selection, not blind effort. To put this into practice, Hill recommended a weekly exercise. Take a sheet of paper and write down everything that occupies your attention. Projects, commitments, people, distractions. Next to each item, mark whether it approaches or moves away of its purpose. Anything that doesn't contribute should be cut or delegated. He called this technique mental surgery of priority. It's a liberating process. And when you eliminate the excess, you discover a silent strength, consistent persistence, the bridge between intention and realization. Persistence and compounding. The power of keeping going. When no one is looking. Napoleon Hill said that the persistence is the ultimate test of faith. He saw many begin with enthusiasm, but few remain steadfast when progress seemed invisible. The universe rewards the stubborn in goodness, he wrote. Persistence is not about blindly repeating, but about keeping the purpose alive when logic dictates giving up. It is during the silence between effort and result that character is formed and destiny is decided. Hill used the metaphor of a farmer. He plants, waters, tends, but he doesn't dig the soil every day to see if the seed is growing. He trusts the process. The same is true of dreams. Growth is invisible for a time, but inevitable for those who don't abandon the field. The seed obeys not haste, but constancy, he said. Each repetition is a silent vow of faith, and the sum of these vows builds what we call compound effect. Small acts, repeated with intention, that create extraordinary results. To apply this, Hill proposed recording progress, not failures. Write down what you've accomplished, even if it seems small. That's how the brain learns to recognize victory. He also warned of the danger of giving up too soon. Many stop when they're inches from the goal. Persistence isn't stubbornness, it's disciplined confidence. And when this constancy becomes natural, you align with the unbreakable law of focus, where everything that is supported with clarity and faith must inevitably manifest itself. The unbreakable law of focus, the code of conscious manifestation. Napoleon Hill claimed that there is a universal and silent law that governs all human outcomes. The mind amplifies everything that is sustained with attention and faith. He called it law of focus. This law doesn't judge. It doesn't distinguish between right and wrong. It simply multiplies what you insist on holding in your mind. If the focus is fear, the fear expands. If the focus is purpose, the purpose grows. The mind is a transmitter, and the universe is an obedient mirror. Hill said that most people fail not because of incapacity, but because of distraction. The average man changes direction when he meets resistance. The man of definite purpose turns resistance into fuel. This is the essence of the law of focus, maintaining a steady vision when everything around him tries to divert him. The universe responds not to flashes of desire, but to consistent vibrations of conviction. It is the dominant thought, repeated, felt, and lived, that shapes reality. He taught that this law is immutable, like gravity. Everything that is sustained with clarity, emotion, and persistence. It must become form at some point. Doubt interrupts the flow. Faith accelerates it. Hill challenged his students, are you consciously creating or just reacting to circumstances? The answer defines destiny. Because in the end, what you consistently project becomes your inevitable experience. And it is precisely here that the call to action arises, the challenge to apply this knowledge in daily practice. The power is in your hands. Now that you understand the law of focus, stop and reflect. What have you been focusing on lately? In your fears or in your goals? In what you cannot change, or in what is within your reach? Because what you hold in your mind sooner or later turns into form. Napoleon Hill said that destiny is not written by coincidence, but by thoughts repeated with emotion and faith. Everything in your life today is a result of what you nurtured yesterday, and everything you desire to see tomorrow depends on what you decide to focus on now. The responsibility is great, but so is the power. Because the moment you master your attention, you master your future. So I ask you, will you keep reacting to the world, or will you start creating it? Will you wait for motivation to arrive, or will you act consistently until it becomes a habit? Everything you desire already exists in potential. It's just waiting for the moment you decide. Act as if it were already real. If this video sparked something in you, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to continue receiving content like this. Here, each new video is a reminder that your mind is your greatest asset, and that whatever you focus on, the universe brings to you. The question is, what will you choose to focus on from now on?